Today, I'm with my friend Sharon Barr. He's the CEO and co-founder of Early AI. And Early empowers VPs of engineering to standardize test code generation across their organizations by deploying a fleet of AI test code generation agents that autonomously generate tests for every pull request or entire code base and help organizations deliver products with confidence. So, Sharon, it's good to have you today.
Thank you, Walter, and it's great being here with you today.
Well, let's start out with the problem that you're solving in the market right now. Can you describe that a bit?
Yeah, the problem and the problem evolved obviously on the last few years in terms of code quality and how AI code generation is affecting it. What we are seeing, especially as organization is getting bigger, adopting AI code generation is becoming very challenging and hitting a wall in terms of the quality and quantity of the code that is being generated. In terms of the guardrails, you maybe generate more code, but it doesn't find itself to production. Uniformity, everyone are doing it differently. And when it comes to testing, it's quite of a mess. And if you look at enterprises, that's actually blocking them from adopting this AI code altogether. Because you have businesses to run, complex systems, and the tests just don't catch up. In the old world, they were done manually. In the new world, they're not catching up with the application code. And we are here to take that task of generating the tests, ideally every type of test, starting from unit to component, API, security, performance, and so on, but generating automatically for increments like every pull request and for entire code bases, right? So we can increase coverage, so I'll talk about it later. But the idea is really instilling confidence in the management level so they can trust large organizations that are using AI-generated code, integrating it into the production systems, and do that with confidence.
So right now, companies are scaling. The amount of code is increasing rapidly with AI, and you're helping companies keep up.
By generating autonomously all the test code through your CI/CD, yes. Basically catch up or match all the AI application code with matching test code that is high quality working. And frankly, we are not a dev tool. It's more like the autonomous is really a key part of it. It's running automatically within your CI because you can't have engineers looking at every test we generate. You have to look at it holistically. Coverage is one element that is measuring the quality of the tests.
I heard you talk about the EQS, the early quality score. Can you describe that a bit?
Yeah, I'll start by what problem that one is coming to solve. Many folks know that coverage is not a very good measure of quality of the tests, right? You can have high coverage, but actually missing a lot of bugs. So we thought about how can we even test our technology in a better, more accurate way, and we introduced that EQS early quality score, which is a multiplier of the coverage on a project. The mutation score is based on tools that are inserting mutants into your code, like bugs, and they are scoring your tests. And something we call the method coverage score, which is what we found is that testing every method directly increasing the quality of your tests as well. It's not just high coverage, but you're really catching every corner of your code. So it's an indication of how well your code is actually tested, not just by coverage and mutation score. So the combination of all three numbers giving you a pretty standardized score about the quality of your tests over entire code bases, right, at scale.
I heard you also talk about the three different agents that you use, one for repository, one for pull request, and one for early verification. Can you talk a little bit about those?
The agents are the products running the technology. We build a technology that is able to generate really high quality working tests at scale without human intervention. We verify the quality of this test for the EQS, and then we wrap it with product, right? The product is now helping you solve the pain I described earlier. And that product is a family or a fleet of agents that are running in different steps of the development process, so they can run on entire code bases at the beginning, increase the coverage, and they can run incrementally during development. So catching events on every pull request or every commit and generating tests as you are changing your code. By the way, we're introducing, tomorrow we'll introduce another term, we call it pull request coverage. How do you measure incremental quality of your test on incremental code like pull request? So generating the test incrementally, generating it at scale, and there are more agents coming down the road because it's only the beginning of solving that problem. The idea is that you'll have agents for API and API security and many other types of test agents that are helping you during your development steps.
I also heard you talk about the company vision where you hope to create a world where every enterprise system is self-healing software continuously tests, validates, and fixes itself to ensure flawless quality at scale.
Yeah, imagine a world where we can generate everything, every possible test around your enterprise code. Like, as I said, unit component integration, API security, performance. And now every time you try to insert a change, we can catch issues. We can catch regression bugs, we can catch new bugs, we can propose a fix, and we can even make the fix. That's the self-healing. So ideally, you can move at the speed of vibe coding, but at the scale and standards of enterprise.
Nice.
That's a grand vision. I would look at it as an enabling pillar for AI code generation for the enterprises, not just for early stage startups or one-man projects.
You have a customer example or customer success story that you want to describe?
Yeah, I mean, we recently finished a pilot with McAfee, the security company. And one of the quotes I liked from the post-evaluation was that they used early on a very old code base, very hard to test, and we increased the coverage from 19% to 61% without human intervention. That was, by the way, done using our old technology. We started as an extension for VS Code, like a dev tool, then we moved to be fully autonomous B2B enterprise tool. The new technology is even more advanced. So that was one really interesting example to hear from a world-class enterprise. Yeah. We have many more cases where we are hearing, that they're asking us which models we are using under the hood. I won't touch too much about the technology, but they haven't seen results like that in the past and things like that.
Great. So I know McAfee's a pretty large company. Who is an ideal prospect for you?
Our buyers are the VP of engineering normally. They are the ones that are feeling the biggest pain about quality and scale. And metaphorically, what happened is that as I said, we started as an extension in VS Code, like a developer tool, right? And what we found is that no matter what you do, you have amazing tests, you give them a button, developers still hate testing. They don't even bother to push the button. Well, the managers love testing, but they have no control. So metaphorically, we moved the button from the developer to the VP of engineering. And we made the VP of engineering both the buyer and the user. So our ICP is companies that have normally 50 and above engineers. As the problem becomes much bigger and the solution much more valuable, right? But theoretically, any company that have a software team is a potential customer. We are focusing on the medium size right now. As we grow as a startup, we'll probably go to the larger market. Larger market is more complex, larger companies, slower processes. So I would say right now, mid-size companies, hundreds of engineers, well, the buyer and the user in a way is a VP of engineering. Obviously, the developers get full attention in terms of looking at the quality of the tests, validating them, and so on.
You mentioned some things with new releases, some things coming out. Can you describe what's new on the horizon?
Yeah, in fact, what I did mention about the agents is besides the agents at our back office, we have what we call daily verify, which is really your visualization tool, the insight tools where you can actually see what's happening on your code base. You can see all the pull requests, what was the average coverage, how many tests were generated. You can see your repository and the coverage over time, how it increases and what happened. I mean, increasing the coverage is hard, but it's even harder to keep it high. So you can actually see what's happening around that. And the goal is really to extend the agents to support you for the entire process, because if I look a little bit about the engineering role down the road, it will become more of an operator or supervisor of tools, or some tools will generate a lot of application codes, and other tools like Early will generate 10 or 100x more code around the testing, the tests of this particular code. So more agents and more control and more understanding of what's happening at scale, where you cannot really look at every line of code unless you choose to.
Well, how would you like people to engage with the company and learn more?
Well, if you go to the website, you can book a demo. A good chance I will be the one demoing you the product, so you can have direct access to me. Happy to, you can email me directly, Sharon at StartEarly.ai. We picked the StartEarly domain. Early was too expensive for us at the beginning, but the idea is start testing early. So that's the Start Early. Early in general, just test early, make sure that you catch the bugs where the cost is low. So that's the best way, email or for the website.
Well, Sharon, this has been really cool learning about Early and your amazing solution. So I look forward to watching the company grow and just seeing more and more market adoption with this really cool tool that you have.
Thank you so much, Walter. Really appreciate the opportunity here.
Yeah, likewise.